Hello, good morning. Welcome into another. Oh my gosh, I blew the intro. What do I say? Welcome to another whatever. Welcome to Good Morning
Episode of
Nasdaq
Good
right
Morning
here,
Nasdaq.
right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is 8:56 in the morning Eastern Standard Time on the 17th day of October, year of our Lord 2025. Huddy tells me there's a crisis. The market is choppy. Huddy wants to do a
I don't know
whole
if I said
intro.
I don't know if I said the word crisis.
He said, "Are you prepared for this morning for all the questions you're going to get on the banking crisis?" And I said, "I missed it."
You said, "What's a bank?"
I said, "What happened?" I said, "I'll tell the people what they need to know. I don't know." Um, it is a beautiful morning apparently for Huddy. He's got the sun that I had yesterday. I have the clouds that he'll have tomorrow, and it's Friday. Friday, interesting week in the markets. Kind of a lot of chop city, a lot of up, a lot of down, a lot of sideways, a lot of angular triangulation. If you've been studying, um, but here we are to figure it out on Friday. We got 2 full weeks of trading, I believe, to round out October before I go to deer camp and before Halloween, before all that stuff. As fall approaches, wintertime is coming. Winter's coming, right? Haven't seen Game of Thrones in a long time. How we doing this morning? Arterix?
Winter's goddamn here. I'll tell you what, in New York, it's freaking cold today,
Very
and
nipply.
and and the market is like down, so it's winter. It's got to be winter. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It kind of feels like I don't know how to say this. Like if I was majorly exposed to the long side in the markets, I should at least have some short-sided exposure at this point. Given that there's so many stocks that are up like 1,000% in the last 7 months and have put in some signs of topping action. And is it all going to come back, or are we going to take a chill pill for a bit? That's kind of the question on my mind. I hope it's a chill pill. I feel like personally exhausted. I feel like I don't really want to buy these stocks up at these prices. And I just hope that they can consolidate and the market can just chill for a bit. And we can have like a nice winter where we get to enjoy deer camp, feel like we're not missing anything. Not that I've ever been to deer camp.
Yeah, you know what would be a
Uh,
nice winter? Just give us like two breakouts a week that work, one reversal, one first red day. Just keep that coming for like 6 months. Just a nice consistent flow, right? No overthinking, no extra work, just simple. You know? Don't knock
yeah,
anyone's socks off. It doesn't have to be
don't knock them
crazy.
off.
Don't knock them off. That's what
Don't
I
do that.
that's what I dream of. I actually don't really like it when the market's too crazy where you catch a bunch of winners, but you are also like, oh my gosh, I missed this one and this one and this one. Just give me like 3 non-missable plays a week. Make them work perfect. That would be great. That's how I would structure it for the end of time if I were to structure a winning situation. But good
You were
morning,
structuring
everyone.
markets.
Jabril, Wayne, Jiri, Queen B, Queen G, Chris, Smash for Fun, Mark, Emilio. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing out there? Let us know. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, no concerns. At this time, I'm just checked with management. Yep, no concerns necessary. This morning, we will not respond to them. But here as we head into the 9 o'clock hour, I'll let you guys know what we do here. If you're new around here, we talk about the biggest gappers of the day in small cap land in the stock market. So if you're here for stock market, you're in the right place. If you're here for picking clovers off the ground, wrong channel. And then we talk through their daily charts, talk through their dilution, their fundamentals. If we see an edge there, if we don't, a lot of the times we don't. But we know you guys watch these gappers. The biggest mover stocks up 100%, 200% plus on the day, doing massive volume in pre-market. I know that's where your eyes go. I've trained my eyes not to go there, but we go there every morning for you guys. So it's a place I don't want to go, but I choose to go there every day for you. And I think that's worth one like from you and one subscribe if you like the content and want to come back, because we're live every single day that the market is open, minus yesterday because we had real life stuff going on, unfortunately. Doctor's appointments. You should have seen my blood pressure yesterday, Huddy. It was fridge worthy. You know, when you put those charts in the room, you're like, put it on the fridge. All those charts would fall off when they saw this blood pressure.
Oh no.
It
Is
was
that like
that
a
good.
good thing or a bad
I was
thing?
like, give me. She said the number, and I was like, no, do it again. You have the wrong. You got the wrong guy. That's like fits in the normal parameters, and it was a great
That's
morning.
awesome.
Great morning.
Yeah. Me,
Um,
me and me and Don kind of struggle from a blood pressure issue.
For years,
I'll
it's
tell you
been our
what.
common complaint.
I'll tell you what. When you get a good reading, it's well. When I get a good reading, I'm like, don't do it again. That's great. But when I get a bad reading, I'm like, do it again. Maybe it's better on the second try.
Whenever I have to go through stretches where they're like track it every day at this time, whatever, I'm like, I really don't want to do it because what ends up happening is I sit there for 45 minutes taking it until I like the number. It's like if I do like it, there's no way I'm just going to stop and like let it rest on that one. But love it. All right. We got 74 of you in here right now. Maybe the day off, kind of. I guess we were off 2 days. Maybe killed the algorithm for us. I don't know. But we got two gappers up over 100%. So we'll talk about those. If you have any questions about or any comments about tickers, leave them. I already see some coming in right now. And we'll mention those towards the end. We'll rock and roll to about 9:15, 9:20. Get on out of here. Go over into the Clover room and enjoy our days. How's that sound? That sounds wonderful. All right. Biggest gapper of the day is RANI. You ain't got no alibi. Why are there so many tickers that make me want to say that? Ronnie Therapeutics Holdings. You know a lot about this one, Huddie. I know you've done the deep dive on them already. I'll just kind of walk you through the simple stuff, and you hit me with the more professional outlook. 47 mil float biotech company out of the United States of America. So kind of a higher float biotech, but they are coming from Cheap City. They were about a 50-cent stock last night, and they are not anymore. They're in the dollars, and they're very much in the dollars, playing the game up in the 130s, 140s. News 1 hour ago, looks like we got multiple PRs all at the same time. I love when they do that. They have one at 7:30, which announces a $1.085 billion collaboration with Chugai Pharmaceuticals for multiple high-value therapeutics, including rare disease and immunology programs, and announces concurrent oversubscribed $60.3 million financing. You're going to have to walk us through what all that jargon means. And then an hour or a minute later, they announce an oversubscribed. So they just doubled down on the second part of that $60.3 million private placement priced at the market under Nasdaq rules. From the Muggles perspective, when I read something like that, it doesn't sound great. Can you explain to me why it is up 195% off of that PR?
Probably not.
You have to try though.
I don't know. I think for sure there's dilution coming to this name once all these things are registered and ready to go. They're getting some payments up front based on and then additionally, I think they're getting money. I think that's kind of the thing.
$10
They're getting
million
money up front.
up front.
They're getting money down the line as well, based off like milestones that they complete.
So people are like, we like the money right now. Couldn't care less about the other dilution that's coming.
It's like cash in the bank now. Like maybe that makes like I don't know how to fundamentally analyze a $1 stock. Like I don't think you really should or can. That's just my opinion. There is 137 million warrants that are coming this way, and that's I think worth analyzing. They need shareholder approval, so it's not here today, but eventually it'll be here.
Yeah, they got a ton of cash as well. 26.6 months is a lot, especially they must have a ton of cash. Yeah, estimated cash 62 million because they burn 7 million. They burn 28 million every year. I hope what they're doing is important because that's a lot of money. You know, they could do a lot of good with that. Put it in your pocket, my pocket, anyone's pocket. They could just donate it every day to the streamers or the people in Good Morning Nasdaq stream. So that's a lot of guacamole. Is there any current dilution that has met your eye and really let you know that something might happen here today? Maybe some pullback.
Not that I'm seeing.
Not that you're seeing, and the stuff from today
But
isn't
all
even current.
of that they are going to register is at cheaper price. So like fundamentally, they're valuing this deal at half the stock's price today. So actually more than half.
I see an ATM that is there from 2022, 16 million, and I got some shelves from this year as well, 6 million on that. But you kind of wonder here. It's a biotech. Yeah, they obviously will always take as much money as they can get, but they do have some cash right now. Bigger float, like I said, 47 million. Should make for a quite liquid, thick stock this morning. If you take a look at the intraday, it is quite consolidational. It spiked out of the gate from 50 cents over a dollar, over 100% move, and then just started holding it, going sideways, holding the buck. Up near the highs right now. Does it consolidate and go higher, or does it kind of pull back into the open in 24 minutes? Taking a look at the daily chart, we have a little gap and crap from July, which was a kind of a small, 15, 20 cent move up, failed, went lower, and we have yet to break those highs recently. That's at like 86 cents, and we are much above that right now. Going back a little bit further, we have some volume. We actually have some volume back here in the 150 to 180 range. Obviously, this morning already we have done significantly more volume, and we're going to end the day with significantly more volume than any other day on this daily chart so far. Obviously, it is lower prices, so dollar volume comes into play as well. But it's kind of coming off these lows, looking like it wants to attack the highs on the year, 2025. But it really doesn't have a great history of running. I see one like bodied green candle, and that's about it. Back here that led to a gap up, and then we've been lower ever since. Series of lower highs, new lows. Is today the day, Huddie, that we change that? We make a new higher high that we hold up. We go higher today, higher tomorrow. And how do you know that?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Can you clarify your question?
What are you talking about? Rainy still?
Yeah.
Markets?
So what we do here, Huddy, and it's good for everyone. We talk through the
Let me know.
dilution tracker, then we go to the daily chart, walk what we see. I'm going to talk about it first, and then I throw it to you, and I say any other areas, any holes in my theory that you can plug in and go, this is what I like, what I don't like. But it does entail you have to listen when I say my part.
Okay, great. I don't like this stock. I think it's got no business being up this much. Now, does that mean it has to come down? I don't know. I don't really like the float to like really be short selling it, to be honest. I probably won't short sell it, but like this is a stupid stock. And I don't know anything about it. That's just like my gut call.
Where does that float start to get kind of like too big, and what is the reasoning for that? Is that just because you think it can do a lot more choppiness versus yank?
It's just it's like in a bad bucket of like if I look at all of the stocks that have like let's say a 50 mil float, this is like what 48 or something like that.
Yep.
The return is just not as good. So I don't know which ones are going to be bad and which ones are going to be great, but like you put them all together and you put them in a basket and you look at them all and you analyze it and you're just like that's not really worth my time.
I get it.
So now like does that mean they're good or bad companies? No, it has nothing to do with the companies. It's just like I don't know. There's something going on behind the scenes that makes these a bit, I guess, choppier or less likely to fade or more sideways or whatever it is. So.
All right. I'm just getting annoyed with where you are on the screen. Oh, no.
Am I moving?
Nope. I'm messing up is all it is. Okay. That was Rainy Therapeutics holding bigger float, big move today, up 200%, going for highs right now over $1.50. We'll see how that one shapes up this morning. Next biggest gapper as we just roll right through it is ARTB, which for those of you who don't know is obviously Artive Biotherapeutics. So they're not just therapeutics, they're bioing their therapeutics. As Huddy would know, this is a 20 million float here. Institutional ownership's at like 76% here. They have 16 months of cash. So another biotech with a lot of cash on hand, but is also spending, 80 million a year. They have news 17 hours ago, so we'll take a look at the daily chart in a minute, but definitely would have thought that this would ran in after hours. Got this news right at 4 o'clock. They announced refractory rheumatoid arthritis as lead indication, upcoming data releases, and corporate update. Does that even make sense? They announced as refractory rheumatoid arthritis as lead indication. Okay, so this is just like an update on what they're doing. They got cash. I didn't see a ton. They're pending an effect from August. Can you give us any clarification on remaining? They got 12 million of ATM from August. Says pending effect. Do you know when that's gonna stop pending and be registered?
Probably soon. the idea that they recently filed the shelf kind of means intent to use it. Um, and they have a high cash burn, so there's a good chance that they're aiming to get this what effective. I don't know. Is it not effective?
Just says pending.
Yeah. So reason to believe that they want to get this not pending, if that's a better way to talk. And the news doesn't sound that important from what you just read to me.
I was waiting. I read it twice. Maybe the second time through, my brain would like click at what I'm reading as important, but I didn't get there. Maybe a third time would help, but we don't have time for that. Daily chart wise, like I said, this news came out yesterday in after hours, and I'll tell you what, the market loved it. The market absolutely loved it. Went from 3 all the way to 6, as high as almost 7. It said, we're going to go up there. We're going to consolidate all after hours. We're going to be real nice and ready to go for the open. We're going to be one of those biggest gappers of the day, and they were. They're down a little bit off those highs from yesterday afternoon, but we are building nice levels of support in the $5 area and the $6 area. Where this opens, I have no clue. Looks like it's probably going to be quite sideways into the open. We got some resistance, got some support. Does it break out of either one of those? Huddie's going to tell us in a second. But gapping up out of this range, not necessarily. I guess it is top left to bottom right. But if you just look at the last few months, it could have lied to you a bit. Not a ton of days where the stock is super interesting. You have one day where the volume was like 10 million and it spiked a bit from 2s to the 4s and then gave it all back. So if you're someone that looks at behavioral tendencies, maybe it could spike today and not hold those gains. It's a relatively new stock, was up in the 12 to 16 range back at the end of last year. And since then really just hasn't been a super volatile fun stock that's been in our lives. But ARTV welcomes itself to the show this morning with 100% gap up. What say you, Steve?
What say I?
Where's your interest here?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Are you interested?
Okay. I'm interested in shorting it. That's what I can tell you. I don't know much about rheumatoid arthritis. Is that what it was?
Rheumatoid, I think.
Rheumatoid? Yeah, I don't know about that. You know anything about that?
It's a type of arthritis. I know that. It means it's tough to like play the piano and stuff, I believe.
I just think that they have that shelf outstanding that maybe intent to use it. So if I get short, maybe I get myself in a high odds situation that they use it, or maybe a low odds situation but high reward. So like, lucky, and just putting myself in fortunate situations over and over again will pay the bills eventually. Maybe, hopefully, as long as I have a stop loss and I'm responsible about it. So I don't mind just being short this one probably.
Nice. Hawkins says it's the real painful kind. So it's not a good kind. Not the one that you want. How's everyone doing out there? Just give me a quick G or B, good or bad, on the day. Huddie will try for all the B's out there to cheer you up with a phrase, which is what he tends to do on the show here. Give words of wisdom, help someone out there that might be struggling. Let's take a look and see any questions. Jabril's pumped. Futures were red. Drummer Max says GWH looking good for first green day. Reversals suck. It's gapping up.
An at the market offering.
Do they? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Hasn't been green in multiple days, so if that is like your trigger for fun and love, it is green right now, holding up 10%. I'm really struggling. I keep saying I'm going to stop with the reversals. I said it several times, but then I look at them on my watch list, and you know how I make my watch list, Huddy, if you've ever seen me do it. I got stocks everywhere, and I pull them down to the bottom. I can't stop pulling down reversal criteria down to the bottom. I'm like, I won't trade it, but I'll just put it right there in my eyes, so that way at 9:32, I'm watching it for a 5-minute high break, and I'm like, I can't not do it. It's hard. It's hard to let go. It's like a girlfriend that is just not good for me, and I'm like,
literally never had one of those.
It's like I'm reading into the movies, and I'm just like, oh, I know that I just keep getting hurt. I know it's not going well, but it's like Friday. I haven't seen my friends all week. The weather's not good for like golfing or hunting. Let me just give her a ring. And it's like immediate. I get in. I get out for a full hour loss. She ditches me, goes, hangs out with Luther, and I'm screwed again. And then I do it again next week. So yeah, it's there. Stock, there's a ton of them today. I think GWH, STI, ELBM, they're there. You want them. I bet, if you are new to Clover, you're probably like, what is this guy's pessimism in his watch list? And like the way I phrase the reversals now is like, it's there. The criteria is fit. Have fun if you want it. Like, I don't know. But it fits. GWH fits criteria. Have at it. Have at it. These days, I kind of feel like the ones that have the best chance to work are the ones that don't fit criteria and that gap up like 25% and are doing massive volume. Like I would rather chase that. But I feel like if you did that with AQMS yesterday, you struggled again. So no clue. Emilio wants to know about UAMY. You ain't got no... Dude, that every ticker these days makes me want to do a cheerleading. I never was a cheerleader, probably contrary to popular belief. Since it's not gapping down too much anymore, and ELBM, GWH are looking like reversal. Yeah, all same sector, same stuff from earlier this week. UAMY is kind of one of your leaders, big picture. 1 second, my phone's ringing, and I gotta just quiet it. I wrote about these 2 days ago. These are more your traditional first green days where I don't think they fit criteria for being up 300%, but I do like stocks that make big moves that are real, that trade real volume, and then pull back multiple days, try to base, and then have a bounce back. I wouldn't treat them the same way as I do reverse, which is like try to buy really quickly, and then you're going to get like a 30 or 40% move immediately. Maybe they're slower. Maybe it's an all-day type of move. Maybe it's more like an OTC back in the 20 teens, where you would kind of buy in the morning, hold all day. They used to swing them overnight. It was a great pattern back in the day. But UAMY, Carmel, I don't know if you have information on what they did dilution-wise and how bad it was yesterday or the day before, and maybe keep me from looking at that one. But those are kind of my thoughts on that one. I do think that they're there. If they're basing, going green, there's a potential for a bounce on those ones. I think you actually like that idea, don't you?
We like that idea. What, are we talking about the resource stocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot more than the GWH idea, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that sounds way more fun. If you lose, you just feel like, wasn't meant to be, versus it's like, I did this to myself.
I think the hardest part is kind of knowing how to time it and when, because like, I don't know, are the markets still weak, or are they going to catch us by surprise and like rip back, right? Like, these have already sold off pretty hard off their highs, and I think big picture, like they still have a ton of volume. They're back down towards like previous, levels that are pretty significant, and the question is, can we bounce off them, or are we going to tank underneath them? And I think for those that know how to like maybe play mean reversion to the backside, can find profitability here. I just not really sure I know how to do it, but I'm definitely watching them because I think there's an angle there to be had.
There's always an angle, eh?
No, that's not true.
There's never an angle.
Sometimes there's no angle. Sometimes you got to make up the angle,
I get it. Just a yes or no here for you, Huddie. Are you still short NVTS?
No.
That was it. No, there was no. I didn't need any attitude. I said yes or no.
Okay.
Austin wants to get back into Clover. Been studying Qualmagi on this break. Hopefully helps my trading. Need the right plan during the specific market. Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about being part of a community. You might kind of have a pattern that works, or it works right now. But the best thing about a community is seeing what's working across the spectrum of the whole market for everyone, and how they're looking to combat the issues. Because no matter how good you get at trading, unless you're like top level, half of the 1%, you're going to struggle periods through the year. Huddie's doing really well right now. Wasn't the case every month throughout the entire year. He had like 6-week drawdown, stuff like that earlier in the year. You're going to go through the ups and downs. You're going to struggle, and watching Huddie go through that, come out of that, is really, really valuable information. All right, see if there's any questions left. It is 9:20, so we will get on out of here in a minute. Merble says, which one fits criteria? I believe GWH, STI, ELBM. AQMS closed green yesterday, I think, so that one's out. Those ones fit your reversal criteria if you want it. NVA had some morning momentum on its reversal yesterday. Spread got a little wide at times, so tough to know which ones will work or not. I don't think that one was a reversal. I don't think it was, but I didn't even know that one existed. Another mineral stock up from $20 towards $80. So whether you want to call it yes or no, it is a big move. It did bounce back yesterday. All right, a lot of G's, a lot of people saying good, but there are a few B's. So for those of you that are feeling bad this morning, I'm going to pull up a quote. It's going to change your life. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you go into Friday with the ability to know that you're on the right path. Right, Huddie? That's the way I see it. And the quote is, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Kind of expand on that for a moment, Huddie.
At the end of every rainbow is a pot of gold.
I wasn't even thinking about that spot. But so if you want to get to the rainbow, you have to first go through the rain. Then you got to climb the rainbow. And that's where success is, right?
Right.
I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Sorry again about the kind of the shortened week in terms of when we were here, when we weren't. But we will be here next week. We're gonna do our best. Okay, everybody? So hope you had a great week. If you didn't, weekends are a great time to go through it. Don't do anything stupid today. If you're going to do something, I think Huddy used to have little notes everywhere on his monitors. Throw one up there for me. It says, do not be an idiot. Changed my life, that advice. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Have a wonderful weekend. If you have time, if you have the want or the need, hop over into Clover. You can over at clovertrain.io. Ask us a bunch of questions over the weekend. That's when Huddy's doing his sauna. He's doing his milk breathing. And he's here all weekend answering questions over in the room. So we're here all the time, 24/7. And we'll see you guys Monday. If not, we'll see you over on the YouTube right here. Monday morning, 8:45 a.m. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. And we'll see all you Clovers right now. Goodbye, everyone.